Meet the Mets. Meet the Mets. Step right up and meet the Mets.
Bring your kitties and bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life.
Because the Mets are really sucking the ball, knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side.
Everybody's coming down to meet the METS Mets of New York Town.
Joining us on episode 5 of Meet the Mets is the man who was drafted by the New York Mets in the 7th round of the 1989 Major League Baseball draft. He was awarded the Doubleday Award for Outstanding Mets minor league player 4 times. His best year as a Met came in 1997, 24 home runs, 26 doubles, 81 RBIs, 287 batting average. That season also featured a mammoth home run at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, where he became only the 3rd player in the stadium's history since it opened in 1970 to reach the upper deck 600 level. It is a pleasure to welcome number 42 in your program, Butch Huskey, to Meet the Mets. Welcome, Butch.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure, man. So growing up, besides a baseball player, what was your dream job and why?
Well, coming from Oklahoma, everyone wanted to play for Coach Barry Switzer and be an Oklahoma Sooner. And that is what I really wanted to do coming out of high school, is play football. I had the opportunity to go play, and my parents made me decide that I was going to go play baseball. So, and I'm glad they did. And I'm grateful that they steered me in the direction of baseball.
Nice. All right. Favorite road stadium or city and why?
With where I came from in my upbringing, I think they were all great. Just to be at that level and play at that level where so many kids that I grew up with never had the opportunity to even see a place like that. I think for me personally, it's just being able to play in all those major league ballparks.
That you owned or a pitcher who owned you?
Oh, man. I don't know if I owned any of them, but there was a lot that owned me as a hitter, and I'm not afraid to say that. But I don't know. I think my most memorable I have 2 most memorable games, and one was in Shea when I hit my first home run off of Hideo Nomo, and the other was the RBIs in 1 inning in Miami. That was a pretty fun time for me.
Player that you played against that's not in the Hall of Fame but belongs there, and why?
I really haven't ever thought about that. There's a few guys that come to mind that I think should have. I think Fred McGriff just got in, didn't he? He was one of those that took quite a long time for him to get in the Hall of Fame, but playing against that guy, he was unreal. He was a great player, and I'm surprised it took that long for him to get the call.
Strangest on-field conversation you've ever had, whether it be with an umpire, a player, an opposing player?
Strangest conversation. Wow. I really didn't talk to too many players. I talked to Bobby Jones a lot. He was my guy when we were with the Mets together, him and Jason Isringhausen. But if you know Izzy, he had a lot of crazy stories. That guy was nuts.
A song that comes on the radio or your Spotify playlist that you automatically turn the volume up to and sing with?
Man, you're putting me on the spot today. I listen to a lot of music, but I listen to a lot of country music. So, and actually, there's a mix out right now, a mixtape by DJ Eric Rhodes. But I just listen to a lot of country music. I am a Garth Brooks fan, though.
All right. Favorite pregame meal or pregame ritual or superstition?
Oh, I just like to sit in my locker and listen to music. But when you're in New York, there's some good sub sandwiches floating around New York. So I eat a few subs before the games.
All right. Best practical joke you've seen played on a teammate.
I think it was the deal, the initiations in Chicago. Those are Johnny Franco had those things wired up, and I can't tell you one time they played a prank on Jay Horowitz, and well, I can't remember who was. Johnny Franco had something. He was involved with it, but they put a hog head that had been butchered in his bedroom and then turned the heater up in his room before he ever got there. So that was pretty funny. That's probably the best one I was ever around.
If you had a time machine and could go back to any era of baseball and face one pitcher, who would it be and why?
I think I would like to go back and just to face Nolan Ryan. I never got to see Nolan. Got to see him pitch a little bit, but to be able to face someone of that caliber, it would have been great. He probably would have gave me an 0 for 4 like Darryl Kyle with a hat trick, but it's coming from this area. Nolan Ryan was one of the best pitchers out there, and he was from this area. So I would have loved to have been able to challenge him or get in the box and face him. But he, from what I understand, talk to the older guys, he wouldn't mind throwing at you or getting you off the plate.
Best baseball movie and why?
I like The Sandlot, but I can't remember the movie where the lightning, he hits the lights and all the lightning comes. Yes, I love The Natural. That was one of my favorite baseball movies. But The Sandlot and all those movies, they're all good movies. And puts a light on baseball, that's great. So anything to help baseball, especially right now, we need it.
All right. One person, dead or alive, that you'd most want to have dinner with and why?
It would most definitely be Jackie Robinson. And the reason why is just to see, I know he had an unbelievable temperament to be able to do what he did back in those days. And me growing up as wanting to be a football player, I was always a little bit high strung. But just to be able to talk to him and ask him and see about everything that he went through just to play the game of baseball. We look at it just to play the game of baseball, but he paved the way for a lot of people. And it's just unbelievable how he was able to do that.
All right. If you had to pick a Disney character or a cartoon character that is, that would best describe Butch Huskey, who would it be?
I was always a Bugs Bunny fan. And so I love Tom and Jerry also, but Jerry would always get revenge on Tom at the end. So I don't, those were the two I watched the most. And I don't know why. I don't know why I would be that Jerry guy, but because I was always a bigger guy. So, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know why. Like Mighty Mouse too. So Mighty Mouse got a lot of revenge on people.
Oh, that's good. All right. Most memorable Met moment.
I think it would be for me, the celebration of Jackie Robinson when the president was there and Mrs. Rachel Robinson was there, and the whole atmosphere about retiring the number 42. That was a great game to be involved in. I can't remember if we won or lost, but just the atmosphere of having the president in the stadium and being able to retire that number. And I still have the jersey hanging on the wall today that she signed for me.
All right. Now I'm hoping, all right, this is episode 5. And so far, all 4 guys have totally disappointed. Sing as much as the Meet the Mets song as you can.
All I know is Meet the Mets. That's the verse I have in my head. Meet the Mets, meet the Mets. And there you go. I have to hum the rest.
All right. We are now 0 for 5. 0 for 5 as all 5 Mets have gotten to meet the Mets, and that's it. All right, Butch. Thanks so much, man.
Man, thank you, Mark. I appreciate it.